Hey everyone, it's Jordan from Fishkeeping Made Easy, and today I'm going to do a care guide on the Amazon sword plant. So a few people have pointed out that other than my aquascaping videos, I've not actually done a specific video on plants. So for those people, here is my care guide on some Amazon swords. So the Amazon sword is a very popular aquarium plant. There are many varieties of them. For this example, I'm going to put the name on the actual screen because I can't pronounce it, which is more or less the standard plant you'll find in most stores. Now, the first thing that we need to discuss is the plant's appearance. Now, I have a plant here that I recently purchased a few weeks ago to show you as an example. Now, it doesn't look like the best plant in the world, and this is why it's actually a good example. So the majority of these plants are grown immersed. Now, this means that they're grown out of the water. This makes it easier for suppliers to grow them, and it keeps aquatic pests and algae off of it. Now you can see here, this leaf looks different from this leaf. Now this is the immersed leaf, the leaf that was grown out of water, and this is the submerged leaf that grows under the water. You might look at this plant here and think, well, the plant's dying. And a lot of people will buy these plants, see this happen and think, well, this plant is dying, I'm going to take it out and throw it away. Where actually, it's just the plant adapting to being underwater. So these leaves here were grown out of water, so they're not really adequate for being underwater, and that's why they're dying. Whereas these leaves here are perfect for underwater. Now, this leaf doesn't look particularly great. One, because it's young. Two, as you can see, the plant hasn't actually been planted. It's in with my piranhas, and my piranhas keep pulling all the plants up. So it's actually been floating a little bit, and you can see that it will still grow and still survive even if it's been floating, which shows how hardy these plants actually are. So now we've covered the fact that your plant is probably not dying, and this is the reason why you've probably come onto this video. Now I'm going to show you the basic care requirements for this plant. This plant grows up to about 80 centimeters tall. It is the perfect background plant that can really fill in a tank with that thick bushy growth, and it grows relatively quickly under the right conditions. So what are the conditions it needs? Well, it is a predominantly root feeding plant, so a soil or a nutrient rich substrate will be ideal. However, I have grown mine in sand with the addition of root tabs or root balls placed closely to the plant, and this gives it the nutrients it needs. Lighting requirements, I would say as long as you have a decent size LED light for your tank, it should grow really without any issues. So the standard light that will come with your aquarium will work perfectly fine. The plant definitely does not require CO2, but it would greatly benefit from it, and you would get a much richer green look. I would recommend adding liquid CO2 along with a weekly or daily fertilizer for good growth and colour. It doesn't seem to really be picky with water conditions. I've seen it grown in soft and hard water. Mine seem to flourish in a pH of 6.4 and a temperature of around between 24 to 26 degrees. One of the main things is more how you actually plant it. This is crucial to its growth. So in terms of planting, what you want to do is you don't want to plant it too deep and cover the crown here. So this is the crown. You want to try and plant it to about here, so you're not suffocating that. Now, if you've got it a little bit higher, then it should be fine. I noticed within sand, you can kind of bury it just that little bit more, and it will kind of pop out by itself once the roots grow. But again, it can be quite difficult to try and plant them, so you might be frustratingly replanting them for the next couple of weeks or so. All in all, would I recommend this plant to anybody? Yes, it's a relatively low maintenance plant. You can achieve a densely planted river/Amazon themed aquascape with this plant really easily, and it's also a great place for small fry to hide and for fish to lay eggs. So that's my review of the Amazon sword. If you enjoyed this video, please like, please subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you would like us to talk about more.